Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to another navigation task, and it's another task where you've got to compare map and photo and identify some features that I've circled on the photo. So I want to know where the photo was taken and can you identify on the map this feature circle there and that feature circle there. So there's a photograph and there is our map. Let's have a little bit of a closer look at the photo. And this was quite a tricky task, this one. A lot of people on social media didn't get it right. So let's have a look at some of the things that they've done wrong. Now, what we're looking at to start with, well, we're obviously looking downhill quite steeply. We're quite a way above this sort of flat grassy area here. We've got a little bit of a path in the foreground, and beyond the grassy area it looks like it drops away, and then we've got these real obvious craggy features here, and then we've got this little indentation gully coming in to the head of this grassy area, but it continues round here and then drops away again off to that side, and then beyond this the ground drops away again quite dramatically. We're looking quite steeply down onto this flat area, and then beyond that there's a lake. We'll call it a loch, seeing as we're in Scotland. Beyond that, an obvious high point, and then beyond that again another loch, and then beyond that the sea. This feature that we're looking for here is another sort of obvious high summit point. Ground drops towards it and then up to that and then drops away behind it, and then beyond it again we've got, looks like a bit of a rocky ridge running right to left, left to right, but it's obscured by this in the foreground. So let's have a look at that on the map. Now we were looking immediately down from a high point onto a flat area, so let's discount some things. We can't possibly be on this here. I might try and pronounce it as Milnasuramach. I'm probably very wrong, but apologies if I am. We can't be on here because if we look at the contours, it's quite flat as we run west to east. And we're not looking on flat ground, we're looking immediately down. So we've got this edge that runs all the way along here. You can see the rocky outcrop symbol and how the contours suddenly get very close together. So it makes sense that we're somewhere on these steep contour lines. We can't possibly be on this. And likewise, we're not really going to be over on this side because, again, the contours are very slack. And we want to be looking down steeply onto a flat plateau. So that helps us in some respects. There's another thing that we can do, and that is look at the main features of these two lochs and see if we can work out where they are in relation to us. So just imagine that you're walking in a straight line from where we are, the centre of the photo, to the second of the lochs. See there? The first loch is off to our left. We wouldn't have to go through it to get to the second loch, would we? So they don't immediately line up. So if we look at that on the map and we do the opposite, this is the second loch, that's the first one. So if we draw a line back from the far loch and just miss the right hand side of the first one, then that puts us in a line roughly of where we want to be. So we can't be up here because those two lochs would be lined up, so we can't be anywhere up here. Further down, further down, further down. We've got to actually wait till that line misses the edge of that loch. So that helps us with that. What else can we see? Well, here this 246 height is that obvious hill beyond the first of the lochs. That's that. And then this rocky ground here is this long thin loch fada is hidden away. That's in dead ground that we can't see because of the shape of the terrain around us. We've got a path here below the steep ground that splits. That may or may not be relevant. So I've zoomed in a little bit now just to help us identify things, and we're somewhere roughly along that red line. It's not an absolute, but it gives us a rough idea. So that's what we're looking at. And if we go back to the photograph, just to remind us what we're looking for, a flat plateau with a little nick out of the top of it, and then it extends again, and dropping away to the top end, and then all the way around here. So you see this little white area of ground here, looks like a little animal of some kind with the rocky ground all the way along it. And we've got this little narrowing that comes in here, and this bit here is the head. Well, could we be looking down onto that? And that little gully coming in is just this bit here. Okay, looking at that. Now, the red feature can't be this bit to the north of it, because there would have to be like a rocky intersection between this flat area and that bit. So we're still looking for a flat ground with a gully in it. So we're actually looking at that point there. And then that other area is just going off the photograph onto that. So that tells us what that is. What about this little, almost like a conical hill here? We know it's before this ridge. Let's have a look on the map again. So if we're looking over here, this rocky ground here, and you see the contours just go around in a little ring on there. There's another ring contour under the A of Abel, I think. Now those are these rocky prominences there and there. So I want to look beyond those. So beyond those, out over here, there's that rocky ridge in the background with this hidden loch. So see that little conical shape there? That is what we're looking for the second feature. And what about this path? Well, if we see where it is on the map, it's beyond this rocky ground here, and it's beyond this steep drop off from the table. So looking at the photograph, it's actually down in here somewhere, and it's certainly hidden from view by these rocky prominences. This is just an insignificant little path. Just because we can see a path on the ground doesn't mean to say that it's shown on the map. Otherwise, every tiny little path would need to be shown. So a lot of this is obscured from view in dead ground. So the answer then, the photograph was taken from this point here, looking out towards Loch Haskell and beyond, out to sea, which is off the map now because we've zoomed in. And the first, or the feature to the left that we were looking for is that little point there, and the second feature we're looking for is that little hill ring contour there. So those are your answers this week. Certainly a tricky one. Don't want to make them easy every week, so well done if you got it right. And if you didn't, just have a look and think, see if you can work out what you got wrong and some of the obvious mistakes that you made, and hopefully learn a little bit from that. So anyway, that's it from me for now. Thanks for watching and look out for next week's challenge.